So in this segment, we're going to be talking about Liz Truss saying on Wednesday, the 25th of May, the UK is not planning to scrap the Northern Ireland Protocol, but problems need to be fixed. So what we're seeing is a big reeling back from the British government, and of course Liz Truss is leading the semi-U-turn because she's the one that helped cause this mess. But yeah, her statements are interesting as usual on this one. So Truss has again said the UK is not planning to scrap the protocol, even though that's what they said a few weeks ago, but that problems need to be fixed. She said the preference remains a negotiated solution, which, it has to be, really. The minister said she was in Northern Ireland to discuss her proposals of a green and red channels at ports. So essentially the green lane and red lanes, we've spoken about that a lot, and the fact that we could have had such a system, a trusted trader scheme, I think last year. But the issue was Lord Frost, or whoever it was at the time, kept changing things and unilaterally adding different companies and tried to argue all companies in GB should be trusted traders, which would mean that all companies would be effectively in a green lane. Didn't make sense. Goods coming from Great Britain would remain in Northern Ireland, would go through the green channel, whilst those crossing the border into the Republic would go through the red channel to be checked before entering the EU single market. This doesn't make that much sense, to be honest with you, because how do you know what's going where? It's meant to be goods at risk of going into the Republic of Ireland. That was the whole idea behind it, not goods at risk. Because if they were going to the Republic of Ireland, chances are they would be ferried directly there, rather than going via Northern Ireland. If you see what I'm saying. Unless it's some sort of like an M&S container or a Tesco's one where they're in Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland, for example, it wouldn't make sense. So this statement in pink doesn't make sense. It's meant to be goods at risk of going into the single market. Asked about Congressman Neil's statements yesterday that the protocol dispute had been manufactured, which he did say. He said it appeared to be manufactured. She did not give a direct response. Shock, the Tories don't give direct responses. The minister also refused to specify whether she's meeting any business leaders in Northern Ireland who say the protocol is working for them. Probably not. I think everybody in Northern Ireland recognises there are issues with the protocol that needs to be addressed, yes, but not the way you're addressing them, because there are companies that have benefited from the protocol. We're not talking about scrapping the protocol. You were, though. What we're talking about is fixing the issues so that we can protect north-south trade. I mean, north-south trade is fine, while at the same time making east-west trade easier. If you were concerned about east-west trade, you would never have signed up to the Northern Ireland Protocol for a start. And also, there's nothing in the Good Friday Agreement, as far as I know, about east-west trade. East-west trade is about the trade between GB and NI. North-south would be about Northern Ireland to the Republic of Ireland, or as some people have told me to say, just Ireland, but people get confused. And as some British idiots call it, Southern Ireland, which obviously people do not like. He said, my preference, as I've said, is to get a negotiated solution with the EU, but if you wanted to get a negotiated solution, you would have come through with the green lanes and red lanes, not we're going to scrap the protocol. He said, but we simply cannot allow the situation to drift, which has been causing problems in Northern Ireland, but the people causing the problems are the DUP. They've been causing problems since February. Why didn't you do anything then? She said, we did not get the executive back up and running. We need a proper government in Northern Ireland. That's true, we do. For now, it can go back to direct rule, which Sinn Féin won't be happy about. But if I was Brandon Lewis, I'd do more stuff to annoy the DUP back into government. She talks about economic and trade problems, then she has to kind of change what she talks about. Truss was asked how she could say the protocol is causing economic problems when unemployment in Northern Ireland is at a record low and house prices are rising at their fastest rate for 10 years. I don't know how house prices relate to the economy generally. She says, what we've been clear about, the protocol is causing political instability. She said, do you know who's causing political instability? It's the DUP. The DUP are. So the idea that, it's about east-west, east-west trade and all this stuff, it's all lies. This is to placate the DUP. The only ones causing political instability are the DUP because they're stopping Stormont from being reopened. The minister added, we have very specific solutions on a green lane that would provide commercial data to the EU. And if it's providing commercial data, that should help resolve the issue, purely because that's what one of the things that you want is access to live data to see what is going into Northern Ireland, so they can keep an eye on things and make sure goods aren't leaking into the single market. At the same time, acknowledging that goods going into the EU single market do not need full goods go that at the same time acknowledge that goods going into the single market do need the full customs procedures, which is true. Any goods going from GB to the EU single market, regardless of whether it's going into France or going into the Republic of Ireland, has to face the full scrutiny of EU checks. That's how it works being a third country. So, trying to bypass that by going via Northern Ireland simply won't work. So that's the point of it. Goods at risk of going into Northern Ireland, not goods going into Northern Ireland. Congressman Neil, Mr. Poot saying of Congressman Neil, he came to Ireland, he met Sinn Féin, has met all the government ministers, and at the tail end of the trip comes to actually meet the good players in the Good Friday Agreement, the key players in the Good Friday Agreement. Were Sinn Féin not key players in the Good Friday Agreement? So if they're real about the Northern Ireland Protocol, if they're real about the Good Friday Agreement, the place they should have started is Belfast. And to be fair, he's probably not wrong, but he's annoyed at Neil for other reasons. The former DUP leader said the Good Friday Agreement is being demolished as a result of the protocol, which isn't true. The protocol protects the Good Friday Agreement. Johnson, would not accept threats coming from the US, from US politicians, coming over here and issuing threats about what is clearly a UK matter, mate. You talk about your party have suddenly talked about how important the Good Friday Agreement is, right? You've suddenly discussed how important it is. So surely one of the guarantors of the Good Friday Agreement and one of the groups that helped get it through, the Americans, would be very important coming here to talk about it. And they haven't issued any threats. The most they've said is, oh, you're not going to get a trade deal. Oh, how bad is that? Not a trade deal with the Americans. We're going to lose something we never had. Oh, scary. He added that his party will meet Congressman Neil tomorrow. They met today, by the sounds of it, and he will attend a meeting if he's available. Seems like a dig at Neil, saying, oh, he's too busy to meet with us. They met with Neil, and Donaldson said it was the most undiplomatic meeting he's ever experienced. He told the delegation the DUP's words and concerns were not manufactured. They feel like they're manufactured. He added Brexit poses unprecedented challenges for the island of Ireland. That's Neil speaking. Any incautious move to undo the protocol would put at risk the durable agreement we helped to create, talking about the Good Friday Agreement, of course, which is true, that any stupid move here could easily unravel the Good Friday Agreement, because again, where do you put the border if you take out the Irish Sea? The Good Friday Agreement belongs to America too, which it does. It belongs to the EU, it belongs to Ireland, and it belongs to the United Kingdom. He says we were honest brokers along the way, and then he says accepting the notion that we could make space for the planter and Gael to live together. Now I found that a bit of a weird statement to make. The planter is a reference to sign of English or British colonialists. People from Scotland, Wales, and England who were moved into Ireland to help with British colonialism, and the Gael, I'm assuming, are the people who lived in Ireland originally who were moved on. I think it'd be about the Catholics. I think I'm going to be slightly careful here and not say anything concrete because I don't want to get beaten up by anyone or abused in comments, but it was essentially a move to help both communities settle together and not be at each other's throats the whole time. I think planter might be slightly a derogatory term, referring to plantations, but I'm going to leave it there because I'm sure Neil chose his words carefully. Mr. Richard Neil. We're not boys or anything like that. But yeah, anyways, what you can gather from this is the fact that the government are backing down, essentially, because she didn't even mention, the legislation she wanted to put through. She did kind of mention the green lane and the red lanes, but, she hasn't mentioned the harsher bits of the legislation. So it looks like she's trying to get consent in Northern Ireland for her proposals before she tries to kind of push further on it. But the people, the EU Commission and other people in the EU have spoken to people in Northern Ireland about certain issues and tried to get them sorted in the October proposals. Sefcovic won't get a mandate to renegotiate the protocol, at least not for a while, but he can make tweaks. He's got to justify it to the EU members and EU Parliament, but he can make tweaks, not tweets. He can tweet if he wants. He can make tweaks, and the simple fact is he has tried. But, it's a compromise on both sides here, between the UK and the EU, between the Tories and the EU. And the Tories are yet to make any concessions or any compromises. But anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Support the channel on Patreon if you can. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one.